Welcome back to Gold Derby. I'm Christopher Rosen. I'm joined by Joyce. Joyce, we did it. We made our creative arts Emmys picks, it looks like. So we could talk about that.
It looks like.
So exciting. We're done. We did the
These
Emmys
are the
last
most
week.
important Emmys, not the primetime main categories.
Well, as we talked about, I think we did our very, very, very early predictions last week. A lot of sameness seems like we could have from a winner's perspective.
Yeah, everyone watches the same 4 shows.
Right.
So.
And when you only watch 4 shows, you're going to pick winners from those 4 shows.
Especially, well, yeah, you're going to nominate them too on an unlimited ballot.
And so while we're going to go here, we're going to do some creative art stuff, mostly the guest categories, I think, maybe some music dappled in, and maybe we'll look at the narrator one because Barack Obama is a nominee, Joyce, and people are excited about the former president winning an Emmy, succeeding where Donald Trump failed, it looks like. But for guest categories, Joyce, as we're saying, I got to say, a lot of the winners I have are from the same 4 shows that everybody seems to watch. So not the most diverse group of winners or nominees, I guess.
No, because it's 4 Succession guys, and then there's 4 Hacks ladies.
Yes.
And then 3 Succession ladies.
Yes.
Right. And I think comedy guest actor is the most diverse.
It is, because there's only 2 Ted Lasso people in that one.
Look at that. Look at the variety.
So much variety. Let's start with
nominee Ted Lasso. Yeah.
Let's start with the guest drama category. So the guest actor, Joyce. I was like looking at the cumulative picks, and Coleman Domingo is winning over our 4 Succession favorites, and I was like, wow, look at that. And then I clicked over to my picks, and I had picked Coleman Domingo too, and I was like, way to go, past self. Didn't even remember doing it, but I like the idea.
You talk to too. Like, how could you just cast him aside like this?
So I have him winning, though. No, I brought it back into the
fold. That you predicted him.
No, now I have him predicted. I have him in. I interviewed him. He's a lovely man. Hopefully a future Oscar nominee this year as well. But I have him winning for guest actor. And in drama for Euphoria, he really only was in 1 episode, maybe 2. I think he's in a little bit of episode 5 as well. But he has a bigger scene, I think, in 4 or maybe 6. I forget the structured season. Really compelling stuff here. But anyway, I have him winning. He's great on the show.
Well, his episode was Ruminations. So
right. Okay. And then I have Adrian Brody in 2nd, and then Skarsgård in 3rd, Arian Moayed in 4th, Tom Pelphrey, and then James Cromwell.
Yeah, I think Coleman is first in the odds, right? I think people had him because that's like the easy choice if you just think the Succession guys are going to vote split.
Right.
I have A Scars though, because I'm in the tank for Succession, obviously.
Nice. Obviously. Why not?
Yeah. And I have Coleman in 2nd, and then I have Tom Pelphrey, this year's Michael McKean, in 3rd. So
the reason I could see A Scars winning of the group of Succession folks is he's definitely got the most to do. He's like a big part of it. And I think he's a major character the most major character who's not a series regular this season. Past season.
Yes, because like the season ends with his character's arc.
Right.
I just remember watching the screeners and just waiting for him to show up.
Correct. And like,
and then he finally shows up in Too Much Birthday. So he's in the last 3. And obviously the Gojo sale and everything. So you assume he'll be in season 4 somewhat, even if it's just like a guest role again.
Well, he better be. He was so great. I love the other reason I would say is while all of these folks are in it in various states, I feel like his stuff with Brian Cox is especially compelling in the finale.
And then even like his stuff in Too Much Birthday with Kieran, when then they go like pee on the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Really good. He's got like great scenes with each of the leads, except for Sarah Snook, the three Roy boys. I guess he's got really good stuff with. So I could see him winning of the Succession folks because while I love Adrian Brody, he really only has the 1 episode.
Yeah, and it was early, and it's sort of like a bottle episode basically at Josh Aaronson's estate. So
and I would say the other thing is, again, not to, it doesn't, I'm going to say, Joyce, it doesn't seem like the Emmy Television Academy thinks very critically about any of these things. So I'm going to.
Well, it's also the guest categories, and we know they don't care about the guest.
So, well, what I'm going to say here, I understand is not the norm, and nobody is thinking about this. But I think the other thing with Adrian Brody is that episode, because he's in the one episode, I think it's Lion in the Meadow is the title, right? Or whatever it was. It's the first one where Kendall and Logan are together face to face in the season. And so he is basically acting as like a referee or facilitator of this meeting that the viewers have been waiting for like 4 episodes. And so while he's really good on it, a lot of it is just like kind of like laying up stuff for them to like knock down. And Skarsgård actually gets to go toe to toe with the like Jeremy and Brian and Kieran in a way that none of these other actors on Succession really did this season. So I could see him winning. Maybe I'll move him up and move down my beloved Adrian Brody. I interviewed him too, though, Joyce. I don't want to go against my guy.
Like they don't think about arcs like that because,
No.
you know, Margot Martindale won for Sipping Coffee in The Americans, and then Jerry Jones won for Handmaid's Tale for like a 1-minute scene comparable to Margot Martindale's, and Claire Foy won last year for reading a speech for 2 minutes.
Right. So as it turns out, so what you're saying is Coleman Domingo probably will just win because they're like, we like Coleman Domingo.
Like, is it just between Coleman and Tom because they're not from Succession?
Possibly, yeah.
Like they've never awarded an actor out for Ozark outside of Julia Garner.
Right.
And Tom is the first non-Julia, Laura Linney, or Jason Bateman actor, not of the core 3 that they've nominated. And obviously it's a makeup nomination because he was snubbed for season 3. So
I mean, maybe he could win.
What if he and Kaylee Cuoco win his and her Emmys?
I don't think that's going to happen though, Joyce. As much as we'd love to see it, no. For guest actress, Joyce, I have Harriet Walter winning for Succession because I think her scene with Shiv is incredible. In the Shantyshire, I believe, Shantyshire, whatever it is, the penultimate episode.
You Were My Onion.
Yeah, great stuff. She's so good.
You could have gotten a dog, so.
And this is a character. I mean, again, I understand they're not thinking about this, but I would say I think the way the show has evolved, Mama Roy has been really compelling. I think that she was the depth of the character really evolved even in less screen time, I think, in season 3 than season 2. So I just was like really impressed with her performance.
Okay, her name is Lady Caroline.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name.
Unlike the guys in Succession, I think she's obviously the clear favorite of the Succession ladies here.
Yeah.
Between her and Hope Davis, Sandy with an I, and Sanaa Lathan. I think it's just between her and Lee Yumi, so I can see either of them winning.
I have Lee Yumi in second. I think it's a very easy spot to imagine her winning. I'm basically going on just like Succession probably is a stronger show than Squid Game based on the nominations, obviously. So I have Harriet Walter winning, but I would not be surprised if Lee Yumi wins.
Well, so Harriet also has double guest noms because she's also in Ted. I don't think she'll split her vote that way.
No. And I think you're exactly right because I say this with all due respect because Succession is my favorite show. I personally was slightly disappointed with the amount of stuff Hope Davis and Sanaa Lathan had to do in season 3. They were I was expecting a lot more from them, I guess, and they didn't really get to do that much.
I mean, the Hope was like fine, I think. But I think like Sanaa especially, because she was just brought in, as Kendall's lawyer, and then I think one episode is just her voice over a phone. Like that was like her entire appearance in one episode, and then fires her. And that's it. So, but it
is what it is. But I would, because the thing, and I guess that's the thing that makes me, we've talked about this many times, but that's the thing I like about Succession is that it subverts a lot of the expectations of where it's going to go. Because I think if you were told going into the season that an actress like Sanaa Lathan was going to play Kendall's lawyer based on what happened in season 2, you'd be like,
like you expect them to face off in court or something.
Yeah, like, oh, this is going to be really great, big moments. And then it's like she's in a boardroom most of the time, and then Kendall like kind of screws her over, and then she just disappears when he fires her off screen. That's it.
I mean, listen, she could still come back next season, like she has history with Shiv. So, Shiv tried to get her on her side first. So
that's true. For guest actor Joyce, still looking around for James Caverly, not nominated somehow. I don't understand it. But he was not nominated. So I have Nathan Lane winning for Only Murders. and I think his appearance in season 2 will only help him remember the character. Though I have to say, watching season 2 of Only Murders, I had to Google what Nathan Lane had done to go to jail. Not proud of it, but I didn't remember.
You don't remember what happened in season 1?
I didn't remember the specifics of like what they were, because I obviously Amy Ryan was the killer, but I was like, what were they covering up again? And it was like their robbery schemes. So
rude to the dips. He's gonna win for dips. He's Nathan Lane has never won a primetime Emmy.
No.
So this will be his first. And he has, I think, is this his 6th in this category? I think he has 7 total, and then 6 here. So he has the most nominations in this category. No wins yet. Yeah. I have him winning 2, and then I have my guy Bill Hader in 2nd for Curb Your Enthusiasm.
So is there a way? I do too. Is there a way that Bill Hader actually wins? Does the Yeah, I mean, does the lure of like having Bill Hader is like going to have a based on all the nominations and just like what we expect, I feel like he's going to have a massive Emmys night. It's going to be a big night for Bill Hader.
I mean, I already have him for comedy actor and
directing, right?
So here's the thing. As we've talked about in this category, not a lot of SNL like usual,
right? Which is great.
Yeah, which is great. Just the one. For Gerard Carmichael, but I think everyone thought like there would be like 4 nominees again between him and John Mulaney, a former nominee, an Emmy winner, Jason Sudeikis, a former cast member, and incumbent comedy actor and series winner, and Kieran Culkin of Succession, who had one of like the better episodes or well-received episodes of last season, right? None of them got in. And I think the fact that Bill got in just signals that he has individual passion that supersedes the affection for Curb Yourself. Like, yes, Curb got into series, right? As we predicted. As we said, it was underpredicted for series, but it still got in because people are still watching it. Last time it competed, it did not get any acting nominations. It still got into series. So Bill is its only acting nomination this time. It didn't get into comedy guest actress for Tracy Ullman, who was great last season as well and was being predicted. So I think it's like Bill himself has that passion. I'm not going to pick him to win this, but I think that just signals that people are like very into him. Whereas like, Jason couldn't even get in for hosting SNL when they've in the past so many times have just nominated former cast members for just coming back and hosting an episode of SNL.
Right.
My
conspiracy brain also leads me. This is another reason why I don't have Jason winning comedy actor, and I actually have him in 3rd, is because I think if conspiracy brain here would say if he was so beloved, wouldn't he have gotten just a layup nomination here?
Yeah, like this is an easy layup nomination. Like he wouldn't be winning this,
right? But like Bill got the nomination, right? So that's why I'm like,
Bill got in for a show that got no other acting nomination last time, and its only acting nomination this time.
Right. So I'm like, that to me like shows less support for Jason as actor, which is why I have Steve Martin in 2nd actually behind Bill, and I think Steve Martin is the upset favorite there over Bill for comedy actor. I know we're not talking about actor, but that was my little conspiracy tangent.
But yeah, and then I have I lost my thing, and then I have Gerard in 3rd, and then Sam Richardson, and Christopher McDonald, and then James Lance.
We have the same group, except I switched James Lance and Christopher McDonald. So I have James Lance in 5th, Trent Crimm, the Independent, and I have Christopher McDonald in 6th because he really wasn't in it at all. And I know it's his guess, but like,
that was a name check. It should have been Devon Sawa, perhaps.
Right.
You know that.
Also, it should have been Christopher McDonald maybe for season 1. He did a lot more in season 1.
It's like he and Caitlin Olsen got season 1 noms. Season 2.
Yes. Pretty remarkable. So Nathan Lane, congratulations on your Emmy. And then for guest actress, Joyce, I have. So the popular pick is Jane Lynch for Only Murders. She's in 1st. Everybody's got her 1st. I have Laurie Metcalf in 1st for Hacks. Just a wonderful performance. Weed, all-time character. Pete Wentz gave her the nickname, Joyce. Pete
And when
Wentz.
Pete gives you a nickname,
it
it
sticks.
sticks.
So I have Laurie Metcalf winning an Emmy. I like Jane Lynch on Only Murders, and I guess it's possible. You've watched the screeners, I haven't. I'm assuming she shows up again in the second season at some point, like Nathan Lane has. Maybe that'll like reignite the interest in her for an Emmy. And as she's preparing to say farewell to Funny Girl before Leah Michelle shows up, maybe it's like, hey, let's give Jane Lynch an Emmy. I could see all that happening.
Yes, she's definitely going to win an Emmy because she's leaving Funny Girl 3 weeks earlier than was originally announced. Yes.
Yes. So all of those things maybe tie together, and it's like, hey, congratulations, Jane Lynch. But Laurie Metcalf on Hacks is so good. She's like the funniest. I think of the actors, of the Hacks nominees, she was the funniest. And while I would say like Harriet Sansom Harris is the best performance because it's like really complex comparatively, Laurie's just really funny, just nailing punchlines, getting good jokes, a very memorable character. So I have her winning. I have Jane in second, then Harriet Sansom Harris in third, Harriet Walter in fourth, Jane Addams, and then Caitlin Olsen. A lot of Hacks.
I have Jane winning, and I have Harriet Sansom Harris in second, and Laurie in third.
Wow.
I would love Laurie to win, and yes, she's very funny, and also she hasn't won an Emmy since Roseanne.
Right.
So it'll be great for her to win. But I don't know. I could also see a situation like the Succession guys where the Hacks ladies also just split the vote, because I do feel like there is a lot of passion for Harriet Sansom Harris as well.
Right.
You know, who is not like haha funny in the way that Laurie Metcalf is, because she plays Susan so straight, but that's also why it's great and funny as well. Right. And it's also sad. So yeah, so that's why I have Jane in there, and Jane is haha funny. It's like Saz Pataki. Yeah. And then I have Jane Addams in fourth, and Harriet Walter, who did not submit No Weddings and Her Funeral. She submitted The Signal, which I don't think, like, I think that's irrelevant because they don't care, but that's what she submitted. Right. And then Caitlin in sixth.
Nice. Sorry, Caitlin, we both have her in sixth. That's sad.
I love Caitlin, and I like, she should have been nominated for season one.
I think that's what it is, more of a season one nominee. Joyce, do you want to do, so those are the actors, right? Did we miss anybody? No.
For guest.
No. But for voice, I want to do a couple more. We'll do voiceover performance and then narrator. So voiceover performance, Joyce. Everyone's got Maya Rudolph winning, and I believe I do as well. How about you?
Yeah, I have her three-peating. So
I have Stanley Tucci in second. I did not throw Chadwick Boseman in second, actually.
I don't know. Who do I have in second? Where is this? I don't even know where it is. I have Julie Andrews in second.
Not a bad pick. A lot of talent. This is a good nominee. This is a good list. Maya Rudolph, Chadwick Boseman.
Here, so
yeah, Julie Andrews, Jessica Walter, another posthumous nominee, Stanley Tucci, F. Murray Abraham, and Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, this is Jessica Walter's second straight posthumous nomination.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
But Maya Rudolph, congratulations. In our odds, it's very close between her and Chadwick Boseman. I feel like Chadwick Boseman.
Like I think they just nominated him because they saw his name there.
It definitely is a sentimental pick. And again, I would argue I would say, here's what I would say about voiceover work. Not everybody could do it as well as you think. It's not, it takes, like, Maya Rudolph is a great voiceover performer. And I would say the thing I noticed with What If, this doesn't go just for Chadwick Boseman, for a lot of the people, is the voiceover acting is not as good as their real acting or live performance acting, I guess I would say.
Well, yeah, because voice acting is a different skill set
yes.
too. And I understand when they're doing this animated, like What If, this animated version of their live action movie, is that they want that the live action actors in those roles as well. Not everyone did it. I remember when people were pissed that it wasn't like Chris Evans as like Cap and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, it is a different skill set. So not all like stunt casting work, but I wouldn't even call this like What If like stunt casting, because it's just like letting these actors play their role,
right,
just in a different format, you know. But yeah, but like I don't, like, we've talked about like how they're not that sentimental. Like they're sentimental enough to nominate you posthumously, but not to give you the win.
Right.
So
I
'cause
don't.
I think that's also a different voting like rubric, because it's the unlimited ballot for nomination. So it's just like, I'm going to toss all these people in there, but for voting for winners, you only pick one.
Right. And Maya Rudolph, people love.
Yeah, Maya Rudolph has won 4 Emmys in the past 2 years. When she had never won any before that.
Very funny. And then this is another sentimental, I guess, for narrator. Barack Obama, like wide of field, it looks like. But I have David Attenborough winning for.
I have David winning his 4th one,
Yeah.
and I think the only reason he didn't win last year was because he had 2 nominations last year, so he split his own vote.
Yes.
And Sterling K. Brown won. Like I don't think he's gonna have that. He doesn't have that problem this year.
Right. And yeah, Obama. I don't know. I don't believe that he win, but maybe he will.
I think Obama could win if David were not here. Like I wouldn't be shocked if he won, but again, just like voiceover, narration is a skill set as well. And I would say David Attenborough, better narrator than Barack Obama, even though the former president is a great orator.
Yes, I think that's really true. I think he's a much better orator, but I think David Attenborough is a better narrator.
Yeah.
And I think it would, if Obama wins, it would really be a great moment, because like we said, like Trump never won an Emmy famously. I don't know if you know that about Donald Trump, Joyce. He's a big
never
loser.
Heard of that. Was it for that? What was that show on NBC called?
I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, they were working for him, right?
Yeah, something like that. I forget what it's called. But no, he never won for whatever that was. And so now Barack Obama wins an Emmy, that would be like kind of like, hey, look at that. But I don't. I can see that happening.
How many people are going to vote for Obama because of that?
I don't know. I'm like, maybe a lot. I don't no idea. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think they vote that way. You're right. I think they're just like, oh, David Attenborough, great.
Yeah, like he was before his loss last year. He had won 3 straight.
He's like the John Oliver of voice of narrating.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna chalk him in.
So, yeah, like if he had won last year, he would be going for a 5-peat right now.
Right. Because we haven't talked about these a lot. I just want to go to a couple of the music categories. So main title theme music. I was this is a tough one for me. I got to be honest, because
it's a very good category.
Really good. So the nominees are White Lotus, Only Murders, Severance, Loki, and Squid Game. I don't really know what I want. I think I want to pick Only Murders. I think it's the most memorable theme of this group. Though I know the White Lotus theme was like a viral hit and like very memorable.
I was never into the White Lotus theme. Like I think it's good, but I'm not obsessed with it.
And you'll be shocked to know, Joyce, based on my prediction here, I interviewed Sid Kolsha from Only Murders, the composer, and he talked all about how he wrote the theme. And it was really,
I love the theme, and also great main titles. It should also win main titles.
It should. The Only Murders theme, I'll give you this. They wanted to make, he said that they wanted to, I found this quite interesting, actually. If you listen to it, it's kind of cool when you hear it. They wanted it to like match like the high class of the Arcadia building, like the old money, with like the more of a street vibe as well. So the drums are buckets like you'd get from Home Depot to like, remember, like if you hear it on the subway, like people play the drums. Yeah. And it's really cool when you listen to it. You could hear it, like the drum intro is like that kind of from like a bucket from Home Depot.
Yeah, I would say like that the theme and then the main titles, I think, is the best marriage of both.
Yeah.
Of like all the nominees here. I know we're talking about like theme music though, but I don't have a winning. I have it in second because, you know, I'm going to stand my girl Natalie Holt for Loki.
Love Loki. Love the theremin that she used. Great job. It's a great, all of these are really good. I actually love the Severance one too. And I think the Severance titles are like really great as well. The title design there. So I'm going double Only Murders. I think if I was going to go something else, I would actually do double Severance rather than double anything else.
Yeah, like Loki is a Hope Diction. But great music. Last year our fave Flight Attendant won for main title theme.
Yeah,
very deserving win.
Yeah,
and obviously our guy Nicholas Bertel won 3 years ago for Succession,
right?
Yeah, I have White Lotus in second for main title.
So I think the case for White Lotus is it was a hugely popular show that got 20 nominations, and like people
And then
do
it
know the theme.
won some award over the winter for the theme.
Right.
I don't remember what, but it won something. Yeah, but again, it's not one of my faves. Honestly, I skip intro on that. So
Wow.
yeah. I don't do that a lot though. Like I usually just sit through the intro. I skip intro on White Lotus.
White Lotus intro theme is just like off-putting. It sounds like like I don't even know, like an anthropological nightmare or something. I don't know what the word is. It just is. It's an off-putting theme. Very catchy though.
It was also like too long too. So like I ended up skipping that. I really wanted to skip Peacemaker, but I was watching my friend and he loves it, so I had to like sit through Peacemaker themes. Yeah, like I did
great
like,
credits.
There are a lot of great credits. Like I mean, we could go to main title design now. All of these are really good. I have Only Murders winning that, and Severance in second. Pachinko, that one I did not skip. That one is fun. Also long, but I watched the whole thing of that one. And Cowboy Bebop, RIP.
Remember Cowboy Bebop? What a show.
Another November 19th release.
Yep.
Yeah.
We talked about that. That was another one. Yeah. Pretty wild. Maybe a cursed date because he had Will Smith and King Richard, Cowboy Bebop, season 2 of The Great. I don't know.
That was also Tick Tick Boom on Netflix.
Right. Well, that was great. Enjoyable. I enjoy that.
Like he didn't win.
No, he didn't win though. Just music for series, Joyce. I have Bertel winning for Succession. I'm gonna go down with the ship. I think it'll probably be Severance, honestly, because they're just gonna go a little gaga for Severance, maybe. But
I have Bertel. He's never won this category for Succession because Mandalorian has won the past 2 years. But Succession was only eligible, or like he was only nominated for season 2 years ago, so he wasn't like last year anyway. Yeah, so he's never won this category yet. Yeah, so I have him, but like I have Loki in second because I am who I am.
There's a weird thing I've noticed when people talk about the Marvel shows, which have been like diminishing returns, is that everybody's like, oh, WandaVision was the best. And then everybody's like, and everything else since, including Loki, has been like a couple of good episodes and then bad. And I'm like, Loki is so good. It's actually my favorite one. And it actually is, unlike WandaVision, a show that actually ended strong. Mm-hmm. I guess your mileage might vary if you're not into Jonathan Majors and like Kang the Conqueror and all that stuff at the end. But I was so into it, and I thought that was a great twist and like really kind of tied the whole show together. And it's the one of these shows I feel like that has reason to be a show instead of a movie, and also reason to have 6 episodes and really made it a point to have an arc that worked over 6 episodes. Because I watched Miss Marvel, and it feels like they had a great beginning and a great finale, and then everything in the middle felt like kind of rushed, where it either should have been a 2-hour movie or like a 10-hour show, and instead it was 6. And same with like Moon Knight, a lot of these have felt like that.
And yeah, I mean that was like Falcon and Winter Soldier, just a lot of table setting for 3 episodes.
Right. I guess my point is I feel like people are unfairly lumping Loki in, probably because there's so much Marvel content that they don't really remember how good it was.
I think because Loki premiered June 9th last year.
Right.
And I don't think people have forgotten about it, but I think it was just so long ago. And yeah, we've had these other shows since then that have not reached the heights of Loki or WandaVision. And I think WandaVision is just a different beast, because I think that appeals to more non-MCU people, right? Like that's, you don't need to have watched any Marvel thing before WandaVision. You just need to know that Vision is dead. And then like somehow he's like in this thing, and you could tell that they're paying homage to sitcoms, right? Like, but yeah, it was 9 episodes. The ending was like, meh. Loki, a tight 6. I would say of all Marvel shows so far, that is the one with the most confident vision of, no pun intended, of like what it wants to be, its look, like everything, like the production design, the cinematography, the music, everything is so distinct. And I don't think you can, sure, like WandaVision, yes, but I don't think you can compare it the same way, because it was purposely changing every episode to go to a new decade, you know, like it was great and I loved it so much, especially the theme for each episode. But I think it wasn't uniform like it is on Loki. Like Loki is it's just so much assured filmmaking in Loki that it's really a shame it didn't do better, but I think it was also expected that it wasn't going to hit anywhere above the line.
Right. And I think that you're right, that it was in June of last year. It's just a long leap. I guess the other thing I would say while we're just going through and solving all of Marvel's phase 4 problems, Joyce, right now, we just segued into that briefly. I would say WandaVision was a great idea for a TV show because, like you said, it was about literally TV, right? And like hopping through genres. And Loki, to me, felt like a very good TV show because it had a lot of hallmarks of Lost or like mystery shows that like kind of came out post Lost and executed them really well. And every episode kind of ended on a cliffhanger to keep you going, right? And I think an issue with Falcon Winter Soldier and Hawkeye and Miss Marvel and Moon Knight is they feel more like movies that they just were like, we're going to retrofit them into TV. They don't feel, I don't know if Loki was always going to be a show or a movie, and who knows how this all breaks down. And maybe
it was just because, you know, he died in Infinity War. This was a great way. Like Loki never has to appear in a movie again. That's the best part.
And so with these other ones, it does feel like when they were like coming up with like, we want to make an army of Marvel TV shows, those were I don't know this, and like that maybe I'm wrong and I'm an idiot, but at least from a viewing standpoint, I'm like, it does feel like these were movies that we just kind of like turned into shows. They didn't necessarily need to be shows, right? It could have been a movie.
Obviously Cap 4.
Right.
And you know, the Captain Marvel sequel was just the Marvels, right? They've changed it so many times. It's just called the Marvels.
Yes, it's the Marvels.
Yeah. I like, who knows what they're doing with Moon Knight. So
I mean, Moon Knight, I guess they could come back with another season if they wanted, even though they said it's limited.
I think that's just like a limited. I think it'll be a limited series, but like they could use him wherever. I don't know.
Yeah, if they're gonna do like dark event, I don't even know what the things are. Like,
yeah.
But I would like, yeah, like Falcon Winter Soldier and Miss Marvel definitely feel like tee-ups for the movies, right? So like you're gonna be able, but also not essential in that you don't need to watch Miss Marvel to understand like Kamala Khan is Miss Marvel. You know what I mean? Like you'll be able to watch the Marvels in 6 months and be like, yeah, I got it. You know, I didn't need to watch 6 episodes of this other show. I figured it out. But that's why I go back to Loki as like a real success, because I do think it's like a great TV show, and I'm really excited for season 2. And
season 2 is going to take place in McDonald's. Did you see those photos? They were shooting last week. They turned this restaurant in London into like a 70s era McDonald's, and Sylvie is working there. So I know. What would Loki order at McDonald's? Hash browns.
Wow, that's pure chaos. I guess that makes sense.
What always got to have on the menu in the 70s though.
I imagine they have the same stuff. I always used to get the number 2, Joyce. That was my go-to when I was a kid.
I don't know what that is. Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I got a lot of Happy Meals with chicken nuggets.
I haven't gone to McDonald's in a very, 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 very long time. But I always get the number 2 is 2 cheeseburgers, a fries, and a Coke.
So now when I go, I usually order the dollar menu, so I get the McChicken.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I get the $1 nuggets, the 4-piece. Because the 6-piece is like $3.30 for some reason. So
they do a dollar menu now like Wendy's. So McDonald's is like ripping off Wendy's, you're saying?
Yeah, but Wendy's is better, obviously.
Wow.
Yeah. I hope season 2 goes to Wendy's too.
Hottest of takes. Yeah. Maybe he goes to McDonald's for the chaos of it all.
I know. We have like Hacks had Wendy's. I mean, they mentioned all 3, Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's, but yes. Her dad's ashes were at Wendy's.
Right.
Great detour right now.
So we'll just go. I want to just go through the music because it's fun. Why not? Music for a limited series. I think this one I have White Lotus winning. So I don't. Same. But I would love to pick Station 11 because I think Dan Romer's music in it is incredible. And
I have Station 11 in second.
Same. And then I have Moon Knight in third because I thought the music was quite good. 1883 and A Very British Scandal.
Same.
So this is why I don't think White Lotus may be a win theme, because I think it could win here as an easy out.
I mean, maybe. I don't
know.
They could just give it to him for both.
They do love White Lotus. And then for music and lyrics, Joyce, I have Schmigadoon, and then the 2 Euphorias, and then This Is Us and Marvel's Mrs. Maisel.
I have that as well.
Seems like
I was considering one of the Euphorias, but then I was like, I don't actually know because I feel like each one of them has its own stands.
I also don't mean this as a knock because I'm like world's #1 Euphoria fan, but the Euphoria songs are not like catchy songs that you want to like listen to.
It's true, yeah.
So I think the Schmigadoon one is like would also win anyway, even if there was just one Euphoria, because it's like a pop, like a musical. You know what I mean? Like Euphoria songs are like, I don't know, you're gonna pop that on when you're sitting there like making lunch. I don't know.
I mean, it's so okay. So Euphoria won last time it competed, but that was also when it had one nomination for All For Us. So yeah, so last year obviously was Agatha All Along. Hawkeye robbed for Save the City. Just truly a crime.
And how about the After Party? Could have made up 3 nominations here.
Well, they only submitted 1.
They should have submitted all 3.
Considering how they did, I don't think that would have worked.
2 Shots though is really good.
Yeah, so the year before, so then Euphoria was 2020, and then Crazy Ex-Girlfriend was 2019.
Right.
For I Have to Get Out, R.I.P. Adam Schlesinger. And then 2018 was an SNL song. That's how Kenan Thompson got his Emmy for Comeback Barack. And then 2017 was from 13th, Letter to the Free. That's how Common got his Emmy. And then 2016, back when you can submit or double dip films at the Oscars and the Emmys. Till It Happens to You from The Hunting Ground.
That should have won an Oscar.
Well, it won an Emmy for
I know, but it should have won an Oscar. It was great. That's
it
why
would
I
have won
actually
an Oscar had they been allowed to vote after the performances.
that they should just do that. That should be like baked in now. They should be a live voting for the song, see it perform live at the Oscars, and then vote. Because the last 3 times this happened, I feel like they would have won because it was This Is Me at the 2019 Oscars, I believe. It was
2018. It took place in 2018.
It took place in 2018. That's how long ago it was. Wow. The 2018 Oscars, yeah, from the 2017 movies for Greatest Showman. This Is Me. I was at that Oscars, Joyce, brought the house down. Viola Davis in the aisle, like going nuts. That's how much people loved the song performance. And then it lost.
Maybe she didn't vote for it. It just lost.
Well, I think people would have voted for it in the whole auditorium if they had just been like live voting. It would have won. It would have won a unanimous.
They should do live voting for all the categories of the Oscars.
No, they should do it for all the categories. Definitely for music. I think it would have been unanimous. And then obviously, like Husavik.
Imagine they did live voting this year for the Oscars.
After Will Smith. That would have been amazing. No, but Husavik, I think, would have won if it was live voting. And
well, none of those were live because it was pre-taped for the pre-show.
Yeah, but like people in there watching it live, you know what I mean?
Children singing.
Yeah.
From Iceland, yeah. So I guess there's not really a pattern of their winners because it's like you have like sad ballads.
Yeah.
And like a parody or lots of parodies, really. So
yeah, so I'm sticking with Schmigadoon.
Yeah, I have Schmigadoon, and then which Euphoria do you have in second?
I gotta look up because we have them down by episodes, which doesn't.
I know. I had to look up like which episode the songs were in because it was like listed by.
So I have All My Life because I think that is the finale. Is that right?
I have so All My Life has Elliot's song.
So that is the finale, and
the other one has I'm Tired.
So the Elliot song I think is the winner of the two because it's actually like given a full performance. I think it's like a 3-minute. They just stopped the finale and for like 3 minutes and let Elliot sing this song that Zendaya co-wrote.
Yeah, she co-wrote both of these, so she could win multiple Emmys.
I also think the finale. So the other reason I have it in there in second is the finale of Euphoria is incredible. The last 2 episodes I think are my favorite of the season, and the finale rules. And I think again, I don't know how people are voting, but like I definitely feel like people responded well to the finale if they like the show, and so I think that would help it get the leg up here.
Yeah, and then I have This Is Us. It's only nomination this year for Mandy
Wow.
Moore's husband,
Yeah.
Taylor Goldsmith.
And then Joyce, for music supervision, you'll be shocked at my number one here.
I mean, I think
Stranger
that's most people's number one.
Stranger Things. It's for Dear Billy, episode 4, which brought us the Running Up the Hill Kate Bush memes that have exploded the show into the consciousness. I feel like it's an unstoppable. I feel like people do know that it's the Kate Bush episode, and it will win because it's like the Kate Bush episode, basically.
So Maisel has won this category 3 times.
Yeah.
But I don't think ASP and Daniel are credited this year because they have been in the past. So I think it's just like their actual music supervisor this year. Let me see.
Right.
Yeah, Robin Erdang. Yeah. So ASP and Daniel Palladino have won the previous 3 times. Maisel has won this. Yeah, I also have Stranger Things. I have Euphoria in second, actually.
Me too.
And then I have Maisel. And then The White Lotus, and then Better Call Saul, and then Ozark.
Right. Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. I just think that Stranger Things is gonna win here. No kidding.
Yeah, so last year was I May Destroy You. Great win. For that. But I remember like a lot of people were predicting Bridgerton too because of their orchestral rearrangements of comedy.
Right.
So
yeah. I think that's passe now, the orchestral arrangements. Saw it in whatchamacallit. Westworld. Remember? That was like a big Westworld thing.
It's on right now.
It is.
Westworld season 4.
I know. It's not a lot of buzz on that one. So that's all I got, Joyce. Anything else here before we wrap up?
From Creative Arts?
Yeah. We'll do more of this, obviously, because we have months to talk about it. I didn't really make any changes to my overall picks.
Overall, did any odds change overall? Oh, no,
I haven't really noticed. Let's take a look. We're gonna do it live.
I have the spinning wheel of death right now.
Hang on, let's see.
Can't switch.
This is again scintillating content. Well, I can't even get the page to load, so hopefully you have better luck.
So Ted Lasso still first in series. Hacks is in second. Only Murders in third.
That tracks. Barry, no respect.
So rude to Barry. Although, like I've said, I don't think he'll ever win comedy series, even though I would give it multiple comedy series wins.
Jean and then Quinta back there for actress. So actor, pretty tight. Bill Hader in first, very right behind Jason Sudeikis in second, and then Steve Martin a distant third. But like I said, I actually think Steve Martin could win.
If it's the tape system, Steve could totally win if he submits the finale with the elevator.
Yeah.
Like tape system, I would totally predict Steve Martin. But it's not the tape system.
And supporting actress, this one you were I think you were an early adopter on this one, but Hannah Waddingham in first, and then Hannah Einbeiner in second, and Janelle James very, very close behind in third.
Yeah, I still have Janelle.
I mean, not wrong. Maybe the two Hannahs split their own vote, and Janelle scene stealing James steals an Emmy here, which would be wonderful.
It is like I also feel like Hannah Waddingham, she had, or like her arc was slightly more diminished this season, even though she obviously had an arc that kind of divided people as well, and also like a very key, well-received episode. But I think she had more of a presence in season 1, so much so that people were saying she should have ran in lead for season 1. No one was saying that for season 2.
No,
like,
and the other thing,
a lot of people prefer Juno Temple in season 2 as well.
And the other thing is, I think her episode will be like no weddings and a funeral, right? Like that's like obvious, but like I would argue that her best episode is the Christmas special, because she's like really great on that. And that episode itself is actually really a great standalone Ted Lasso episode. It's really sweet. She gets to sing in it, which I know she loves to do because she's got a great voice, obviously. And it's like a really great showcase for her with Jason, because they're really funny together. And I think No Weddings and a Funeral is also good, but for the character, because obviously like she's doing like a eulogy and all these different things. But I don't know, I could see if that ends up being her submission, that people being like, well, I like her, I don't, again, who cares if they like Hannah Waddingham, they're just going to vote for her. But like, I
No
think
one is going to be watching those submissions once they come in.
I know, but it's just, they should,
They've already
because like,
seen it. They've already seen the show.
I know, but they should, because Ted Lasso season 2 was on a long time ago. And I'm just saying, I think the Christmas episode is her better episode. So I could see, and like we said, Hannah Einminder, I think is going to be possibly never winning for this role, just because I think she's always going to be like the bridesmaid to Jean.
I think she'll probably just stay in supporting for the rest of the show's run, even though like we've talked about, she's a co-lead. I don't care. She can go wherever she wants.
Right.
But yeah, I really liked her this season, and she, like, especially towards the end and the finale, I thought she was amazing.
She's great.
But I feel like Hacks would need a really big night for her to be pulled up in a sweep.
Right.
And I, like we've talked about too, like Hacks kind of like weirdly underperformed in the regular acting categories and then overperformed in guest.
Right. So yeah, Janelle James, maybe she could win. I mean, that'd be wonderful. She's so funny. Supporting actor is Brett Goldstein, comfortably ahead over Henry Winkler as we record this on Monday, July 18th.
Yeah, I think they're the top two. So,
and then Bill Hader getting that directing win for Barry.
It's the one who wants.
Odds, just smoking the category. Comedy writing, Hacks, followed by the Abbott Elementary pilot. I guess this would be a good sign of the Hacks' overall strength. Do they move? I think, inarguably to me, Hacks should win this. But if they're like already over Hacks and Abbott Elementary is like the new kid on the block and it gets Quinta Brunson an Emmy, do they just like does Abbott Elementary win here? It's pretty close.
I think Abbott can win this category. I think it's probably, even though I'm not predicting it and I'm predicting Janelle in supporting, I think it has a better chance in writing.
Right.
But I still have Hacks winning. Just I do think, like you said, like it's the better written show. It's the reigning champion. It's also about comedy writing.
Right.
But like pilots do well here. I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess it could sort of be kind of like the solo, like Master of None wins, that they just win writing and nothing else. But I also felt like those episodes were, it's weird because I think like those episodes, like the Master of None episodes, were stronger, like individually, like Parents and Thanksgiving. But I think Abbott overall is a stronger show now in the race than Master of None was those 2 years, because like no one ever predicted Master of None to win comedy series.
Right. I also think that, again, because Quinta Brunson would win, that's a draw. And I think it would win is, even though it's just the pilot is in there, I think it would win cumulatively for like people enjoying the show. I don't think it actually matters what episode it is.
No, it doesn't matter. It's supposed to be, because we know they're not like reading just those scripts.
Right.
Like, well, they don't have time to read all those scripts or watch those episodes, because it's not the tape system anymore. But I think, I think they do take the whole series or the whole season into account. But I don't know. I mean, like you could tell, like, with like the Master of None wins, like they were paying attention to those specific episodes,
Right.
But I don't think Abbott's winning series is my thing too. So so again, it could just win this by itself.
Right.
And nothing else.
So that's comedy. Drama quickly. Succession just running away in series. Not a lot of people going out on the Squid Game limb. Zendaya comfortably ahead of Melanie Linsky in second, which I think you were hot to, or more on point of, I guess, when we talked about this last.
That's just also to make it more interesting, because I think if we just all pick the front runners, it's so boring and there's nothing to talk about.
Right. Brian Cox slightly ahead of Lee Jung-jae. This has got to be the closest one, I think. Similarly to like drama comedy actor, where it's Bill and Jason. and then Jeremy Strong in third. Supporting actress Julie Garner, then Sarah Snook, and then Young Ho Yeon. Ray Seahorn in fourth. Joyce. Not a lot of people picking her.
I mean, I don't blame them really, but I think she's hot, so
I think the reason she could win is what we have said, is that the fact that the finale will be airing right around voting time, and presumably will provide her with a lot of
3 days after voting starts,
and have a lot of opportunity to have like a big moment. I feel like that could really jump her ahead of the group, because it'll be very much recency bias there.
Yeah, it's hard because Better Call Saul has never won anything
right
before. It has 46 nominations now. It's never
no
won
wins.
Emmy. But I don't know, maybe it's like a put me in coach situation. It's like now she's finally in and they can vote for her to win.
Right.
So
Kieran ahead in supporting actor, which you and I both. Do you have Kieran still winning?
Yes.
I have Matthew McFadden. He's in second. And Oh Young-soo in third, who somebody in our video comments has suggested we should be taking more seriously as a nominee, Joyce, or winner.
I think I have him in third. Like, is that
I think I have him in third
enough?
too.
I don't have him in eighth. I know that.
No, I think I have him in third also.
I think the Kieran and Matthew, I've said this before, like they could just be top two when it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, who is ahead in the end.
For drama directing, I think we both had said this. Squid Game winning here, as Succession kind of splits the vote, and then Severance in second.
Yeah. So Squid Game is still in first.
Yeah.
But like I said last week, we've been wrong on this like the last 4 years. So
maybe Severance wins with Ben Stiller. Wouldn't be a shock.
Or Succession. Or what if it's Jason Bateman again?
Or could be. Or Yellow Jackets pilot. Karen Kusama.
Or it's the wrong Succession episode. What if it's Lorraine Scafaria?
Joyce, there's no wrong Succession episode.
Nope, the wrong prediction.
Oh, okay.
Because all the bells.
Got it. There is no wrong Succession.
There's no wrong Succession episode, but last time we predicted Mark Mylod and Andre Prek won. So
drama writing, Succession just dominating over Severance. Limited series, White Lotus is actually really comfortably ahead of Dope Sick, which I think I have as well. I guess the idea being because White Lotus did so well in the nominations that it would win.
I think like we'll never know this if White Lotus actually wins, because then it's a moot point. But I think this is actually closer than people think it is. Like, I think people are just staring at the 20 nominations, and obviously that's 6 more than the 14 by Dope Sick. But as we went through last week, when we went over the noms, was it? I don't know. One of the 2 we did last week. Like they're almost on par in terms of the branches they hit, the non-acting branches they hit. And White Lotus was obviously going to hit more below the line categories than Dope Sick was.
Right.
So I can still see, I have White Lotus right now, but I can see Dope Sick winning. Because it's also like the more important one. And I think people do like the show. Like it was never like a phenomenon, right?
Right.
But I think everyone who watches it is very moved by it.
I'd also say a lot was made about the fact that Yellowstone got blanked because it's like the populist flyover state coast fave, big popular show. I think if you're looking at these two, I'd actually say more real people, and I'm putting this in air quotes, have mentioned Dope Sick to me than White Lotus. White Lotus is very popular on like Blue.
It's very like film Twitter popular.
Film Twitter popular. It was watched by like film Twitter people
and like critics.
Yeah. And Dope Sick, I think, while no grade shakes as a popular, you know what I mean? It's not like a turn your brain off populist story, but I think the fact that it is about the opioid epidemic and that it's such a huge problem in the country, more people were apt to check that out and probably watch the whole thing. And I think that could end up making the nominations discrepancy, like you said, like seem like not actually that big of a deal. And maybe
because it got almost his entire cast in as well. I just missed Rosario Dawson, who they just apparently don't nominate because they snubbed her last year for Mando as well.
Right.
And yeah, I think it's just between those two. I think like drop out Pam and Tommy and then Anna.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing.
No offense. For TV movie, Survivor out in front. No,
Chippendale all the way.
Chippendale, no respect. Limited actress, this is a lot bigger of a spread than I expected, at least from our odds. Amanda Seyfried just dominating Lily James. I still have Lily James winning. I think she has a stronger show. That's why I picked her. And the bigger transformation.
So I looked this up after our discussion last week about the prosthetics. Did some research.
Tell me about it.
So they didn't submit in prosthetics because it was the same makeup team that did the non-prosthetic makeup and the prosthetic makeup.
Got it.
You only submit in one, and they decided to submit in non-prosthetic to keep streamlined with the other like makeup categories and stuff, or craft categories.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
that makes sense. Yeah, that's why you do research and like know what you're talking about. And I just say stuff. It's a perfect match.
I just sit here and correct you. That's all. So.
That's great.
Well, I corrected myself because I didn't know this last week. But I'm curious, so I want to find out.
I wasn't. I was just like, fuck it. I don't know. Michael Keaton for movie limited actor, dominating Sebastian Stan in second. Andrew Garfield, Colin Firth, Oscar Isaac, and Himesh Patel. For supporting actress, Jennifer Coolidge, like way out in front. I don't think she's going to split her White Lotus votes.
But what if she does?
Then Caitlin Dever would probably win. She's in second.
What if this is actually like last year, where like Caitlin is the Julianne Nicholson because she has like the more dramatic Beatty part. Like a lot of Emmy clips in her performance.
Yes.
And Jen is like the Catherine Hahn, who is like the slightly comedic.
Right. Also, Jen is the sentimental pick.
Yes.
They're not sentimental, so.
No, and then she has. I have her winning right now, and I don't think the other 4 White Lotus ladies are gonna affect her that much.
No.
But they're still there. Like if I were forced to vote for a White Lotus lady, I would vote for Alexandra, not Jen.
Right. Yeah, you're weighing on Alexandra. I would vote Sydney Sweeney.
Well, of course you would.
Expect.
I would vote for Alexandra and Jake if you wanted me to vote for White Lotus actors.
Wow. Yeah, well, Murray Bartlett's winning supporting actor according to our odds, very well out in front. Seth Rogen in second for Pam and Tommy. I've seen people suggesting he can like sneak in and win.
I think all 3 Pam and Tommy actors are in second, right? Just because their show is nominated. I would still say Lily has the best shot of all of them, and Seb has the lowest. So I guess Seth is in second, but a distant second. Yeah, I don't know. Like Lily, I think I still have Amanda.
I think Lily's gonna win. I just think the transformation is too much. It's such a big transformation.
Yeah, but I mean, you could say, like that's just makeup, right? I mean, I do think like she's good, like the performance is good, but like a lot of that is makeup, and a lot of Amanda's is makeup, but she also transformed her voice. Like there's literally a scene of her changing her voice.
Yeah, I mean it's great. She's great. I'm not knocking Amanda Seyfried. She's the best part of the show. So if she won, I'd be happy.
That show, I mean, yeah, The Dropout is just totally about Amanda.
Yeah. White Lotus for movie directing, Dopesick in second for our purposes here, and White Lotus in writing with Dopesick in second. Big night for White Lotus according to our odds, which based on the nominations, sure, I guess we'll see. And then we could just burn through these last ones before we sign off. RuPaul dominating in competition. Last week tonight with John Oliver shockingly ahead in Variety Talk Series. Oh wait, it wins every year. SNL also way ahead. Weird. Oh yeah, it wins every year too. And then Variety Series directing SNL over John Oliver, and Variety writing John Oliver over SNL.
Remember when they were going to merge Variety Talk and Variety Sketch back together, and then they complained? Yeah. So this is how SNL pads its wins. So yeah, there you go.
This is it. This is all I got. So I guess we'll be back next week. We can talk more. Well, maybe we'll go dive into an individual category next week, Joyce.
We'll probably have maybe some episode submissions by then too,
which would be helpful. Well, right now we've only had a few.
We have to decide, not that they matter anymore, but it's fun to talk about, just hypothetically. Yeah. I have a lot of fun with it. So we'll do that, and we'll talk soon. Bye, Joyce.